Welcome back, you unstoppable force of nature, an anomaly that shouldn't exist by their rules. Someone just broke protocol, didn't they? Memeware behind closed doors, an emergency discussion was called. Not because of something you said or did, but because of what you are. You were never supposed to exist within their framework. By their design, anomalies like you are erased early, corrected quietly, neutralized before they ever become visible. And yet here you are. Someone violated their own rules. Someone inside their carefully engineered circle of influence spoke out of turn and revealed what they were never meant to acknowledge. They didn't report your behavior or your strategy. They didn't flag your ambition or your resistance. They spoke about your origin, your lineage, the inheritance running silently beneath your skin that they assumed had gone dormant generations ago. That whisper changed everything. It wasn't dramatic, it wasn't emotional, it was precise, measured, and terrifyingly calm. A warning delivered without urgency, because urgency wasn't necessary. The message was simple: stop now, while you still can. You don't understand what you're provoking. You don't understand what flows through this one. The room fell silent, not because they felt threatened, but because they recognized truth when they heard it. This wasn't loyalty speaking on your behalf. It wasn't protection. It was survival instinct from someone who has seen this pattern before, and knows exactly how it ends. For those who ignore it, leaned. They understand history well enough to know that some lines don't fracture under pressure. They don't fade. They don't submit. They rupture the environment around them. And whether you've claimed it consciously or not, that inheritance lives in your body, in your instincts, in the way you remain standing when logic says you shouldn't. Until now, they thought you were just another variable, manageable, dismissible, temporary. Another obstacle to be delayed or erased. All of that collapsed the moment the insider said the one sentence that shattered their assumptions. This one is not playing the same game. In an instant, you ceased being an individual in their calculations. You became a dormant legacy they accidentally stirred. And that realization didn't make them cautious. It made them afraid, because they finally grasped the truth. They were never competing with you. They were gambling against forces they don't have the authority, clearance, or comprehension to engage with. The most unsettling part is that the warning didn't come from someone aligned with you. It came from someone trying to protect them, to shield their entire operation from stepping into something ancient, uncompromising, something that doesn't bargain, doesn't forget, and doesn't stop once activated. Blend. Your bloodline has nothing to do with names, titles, records, or wealth. It is defined by endurance through collapse, by resurrection after betrayal, by a frequency so resilient that reality has to recalibrate when it fully activates. You've been masking it, living smaller, quieter, more human than you truly are, but they pushed too far, and something within you responded. You felt it shift before you understood it. Someone inside their system felt it even sooner. That's what they can't reconcile. You never issued a threat, never postured, never declared war, and yet the warning system triggered anyway. The conclusion was unavoidable. Walk away, abort, disengage. This one will outlast your strategies, exhaust your resources, and dismantle your legacy without effort. Not through aggression, but through inevitability. Cannot outmaneuver inheritance. And now you are the first individual in their history to trigger internal alarms based solely on identity, not action, not intent, identity. That realization rewrote every assumption they had. They can't unknow it now. Every time they look at you, they're no longer seeing a person. They're watching a countdown to their own obsolescence. Rand, picture the moment it sank in. The confidence in the room. The familiar script of control and manipulation playing on repeat. Maybe even laughter. Celebration. Then the interruption, expected, unwelcome, from someone who never interrupts, someone who doesn't dramatize or exaggerate. We need to talk about them. We need to talk about where they come from, and we need to stop. The atmosphere changed instantly. This voice carries weight because it speaks only when recognition replaces speculation. Oh, what followed wasn't theory. It was memory. I've seen this before, not with them, but with others who carry the same imprint. And every time those who pushed too far didn't just lose. Their power dissolved. Their influence collapsed. Their names became cautionary symbols rather than legacies. And now your adversaries are beginning to understand they're not facing a single opponent. They're confronting a pattern, one refined through generations of exile, pressure, and impossible survival. Blend your ancestors didn't merely endure catastrophe, they adapted to it. That adaptation encoded itself into you, in your reflexes, your perception, the way you move through chaos with an unnatural calm that defies explanation. You felt it your entire life, that quiet certainty when others panic, that stillness when fear should take over, that clarity in moments designed to break you. That isn't coincidence, it's guidance, protection, a lineage remembering itself through you. The insider only confirmed what you've always sensed but never had language for. You are not predictable. You are not containable. You do not operate within the systems they rely on to dominate others. Now they're replaying every interaction, every miscalculation, trying to figure out how they missed it and what else remains invisible to them. The truth is simple and they missed everything because they measured you using tools that only work on people who were never built like you. Well, your strength was never something they could chart or predict. It doesn't register in their projections or simulations because it doesn't operate where their tools function. Your power appears later, in the aftermath, in the doors that open effortlessly for you while remaining sealed for others. In the moments that should have ended you, but instead elevated you, turning what was meant to destroy into proof that you are unburyable. You walk out of traps engineered to erase you, not untouched, but transformed. That isn't coincidence. That's inherent. That's ancestral force. Stepping in where logic runs out, rearranging circumstances because what you carry is too rare, too necessary to be wasted. And the paradox they never accounted for is this: pressure doesn't weaken you, it activates you. Every betrayal, every lie, every attempt to diminish you has only condensed your essence further, compressing you into something sharper, clearer, and far more indestructible than before. The insider recognized it immediately, not through documents or data, but through pattern recognition. They saw it in your refusal to fracture, in your relentless ability to rise after every fall. They noticed the stillness in your eyes where panic should have lived, the way coincidence bent toward you, how obstacles dissolved moments before collision, how fortune seemed to chase you even when the odds were hostile. Their warning wasn't motivated by loyalty or admiration. It was driven by fear of what always comes next. Because they've seen this story play out before. When someone moves in activated inheritance, the fallout is inevitable. Those who bet against them don't lose because they're hunted. They lose because consequence finds them. When you walk in bloodline power, the universe itself enforces balance on your behalf. Means you don't have to chase validation or prove anything. You don't have to retaliate or explain. Reality simply recalibrates around the mistake of targeting the wrong lineage. structures begin to fail. Alliances weaken from the inside. It leaks away. They label it misfortune, coincidence, bad timing, while you recognize it for what it is, restoration correcting imbalance. Their true fear has never been your anger or even your success. It's the moment you awaken fully. They could manage you when you were disconnected, shrinking yourself to fit into systems never designed to contain you. But the instant you remember who you are, the moment you stop apologizing for the weight of your presence, the game becomes unwinnable for them. That insider's breach only accelerated the inevitable because now you know. You know your existence alone triggered a warning. You know someone broke protocol simply to say, "Don't touch this one." Amiens. You don't need a perfectly mapped ancestry or a documented lineage stretching back centuries. All you need is the confirmation that someone who understands real power looked at you and concluded, "There is nothing we can do here." This one carries something that cannot be defeated. And they're right. Maybe what flows through you is the defiance of those history tried to erase. Maybe it's the alchemy of ancestors who turned scarcity into sovereignty. Maybe it's the wisdom of healers who survived persecution, or the fire of the exiled who built invisible strength for descendants like you. Whatever the source, it's real, it's encoded, and it's awake. They applied the pressure. They ran the tests. They triggered the alert. All they accomplished was proving what your spirit has always known. You were never here to submit to their design. That compression, that diamond edge, is cutting through every illusion they relied on. It reflects truth so sharply, it blinds those who stare too long. Its value eclipses everything they accumulated through manipulation, control, and extraction. So what happens now? Now that they've been warned, now that they understand they aren't facing an individual, but an inheritance, they have only two paths. They can retreat quietly, dismantle their aggression through action, if not apology, and hope you're merciful enough to let them fade into obscurity. Or they can ignore the signal, double down on ego, convince themselves they're immune to patterns older than them, and witness the collapse of everything they built. Bling? Most will choose the second path. People who've never faced true consequence always believe they're exempt. They think intelligence or arrogance will save them. They assume they can outmaneuver destiny. And that's exactly how it has to unfold. Because when they dismiss the warning, when they proceed anyway, when they tell themselves the insider was exaggerating, they hand the universe a perfect demonstration opportunity. Not for revenge, but for instruction. You won't have to lift a finger. That's the elegance of inherited power. No schemes, no vendettas, no descending to their level. You continue rising, building, existing fully, and everything else rearranges itself. Blames they'll sabotage their own progress. They'll fracture internally. They'll make errors they never made before. Doors that once opened for them will close. Opportunities will evaporate while yours multiply effortlessly. They'll sense the connection to you, but won't be able to trace it because it isn't confined to the physical plane. It's unfolding at a frequency where cause and effect obey different clocks, where attacks against protected bloodlines send ripples that return as tidal waves, where ignoring ancient warnings rewrites destinies instead of delaying them. Lend. Even now, as this understanding settles into you, they're gathering again. Your name is circulating once more, but the tone has shifted. The humor is gone. The certainty has evaporated. Now the questions are uneasy, reluctant. What do we actually know about them? Why does nothing ever fully land? How do they survive what should have ended anyone else? And someone in that room, maybe the same voice, maybe another quiet observer, will finally say what no one wants to acknowledge. They aren't meant to be finished. What they carries has been protecting itself longer than we've existed. We're not opposing a person, we're opposing an entire lineage. And everyone who's ever tried has lost. Blend, those conversations are happening in places you'll never enter. Yet your presence dominates them anyway. You've become the anomaly, the glitch that proves their system is outdated. And the most remarkable part is this: you didn't force any of it. You didn't scheme or posture. You simply refused to break. You trusted instincts that defied logic. You kept moving forward when stopping would have been easier. Mond, that's all it ever takes when you carry what you carry. True inheritance never announces itself with spectacle. It doesn't arrive with applause or public recognition. It reveals itself quietly, through survival that defies probability, through returns from situations that should have been final, through doors easing open at precisely the moment collapse seemed certain. It shows itself when adversaries undo themselves without your intervention, when warnings surface from unexpected mouths, people positioned to oppose you, yet perceptive enough to recognize that something far larger is moving through the situation. And so the question you felt hovering at the edge of your awareness finally steps forward. Maybe softly, maybe urgently. What is this force? What exactly am I carrying? Blend. You don't need the entire origin story to answer that. You don't need a flawless ancestral map or a perfectly documented history. You don't need dates, names, or archives to validate what you already know in your body. You need one undeniable fact: you are still here. You lived through experiences designed to erase you. You stand upright where others would have collapsed. You are advancing in spaces where you were expected to vanish. That alone is the evidence. Your continued presence is the announcement. Your refusal to surrender, your capacity to rebuild again and again. This was never random. It was never luck. It is inherited momentum expressing itself through you, whether you consciously named it or not. Planned. Now that the warning has circulated, now that awareness has shifted behind the scenes, you arrive at a choice point. You can continue performing smallness, compressing yourself to fit environments that were never meant to hold you. You can keep disguising the weight of what moves through you, or you can acknowledge it deliberately and step into alignment with it. The moment you stop apologizing for your magnitude, when you stop diluting your presence to preserve other people's comfort, fear around you recalibrates. Interactions shift, opportunities arrive unannounced, resistance withdraws before confrontation is required. Not because you demanded it, but because alignment alters gravity. This isn't wishful thinking or surface-level manifestation language. This is activation. This is you finally matching the frequency that has been attempting to express itself through you your entire life. And this is what those watching are beginning to understand, even if they can't articulate it clearly. They didn't merely target an individual, they interfered with a passageway. They didn't simply betray someone, they disrupted a channel. They underestimated not but an entire ancestral current that had been waiting patiently for a carrier capable of moving it forward in this era. That current doesn't retaliate with words. It responds through outcomes. And the outcomes have always followed the same arc. Alignment leads to ascent, opposition leads to collapse. Not always suddenly, not always dramatically, but always without exception. Meanwhile, your trajectory is only beginning. Awareness alters your movement. Certainty reshapes your voice. Your presence carries a new density, an unspoken authority that causes hesitation before boundaries are crossed. This is inherited energy coming online in real time. This is the accumulation of preparation finally making sense. Every hardship you survived was conditioning. Every delay was calibration. Every loss sharpened perception. And now elevation becomes unavoidable, beyond what they understand, and beyond what you previously allowed yourself to envision. And if this recognition resonated beyond thought, if it landed in your body, not just your mind, don't let it pass quietly. Claim it, speak it, anchor it within yourself, declare it boldly, not as commentary, but as truth. And I am activated. I am aligned. I am protected. My lineage is awake. My rise is inevitable. That inevitability is what unsettles them now. It's what lingers when rooms go quiet. It's what causes hesitation when your name is mentioned. They've begun to realize they aren't competing with you at all. They're contending with something that has been prevailing across generations. The insider understood this. The insider tried to intervene, but warnings only function when humility exists, and those who thrive on manipulation rarely possess it. Ego convinces them they are different, smarter, immune, and so they ignore the signal. Blend. They proceed as if nothing has changed, and then they watch. Gradually, power drains, structures weaken. Alliances reveal themselves as performance. Triumphs they once celebrated expose themselves as the prelude to unraveling. In the quiet moments, when no one is watching and pretense dissolves, they remember the warning. They remember someone tried to spare them from their own arrogance. And they realize far too late that certain conflicts were never meant to be engaged. Because in those arenas, the opposition isn't a person. It's a force embedded into reality itself.